Hello. In this video, I'm going to explain long division. Now, we start off in this video with a couple of problems with short division, but I thoroughly covered short division in the previous video, M1.5 practice 1, so I'm going to go fairly swiftly through the first two questions which involve short division. After that, we got a couple of questions which really deal with place value as far as where the quotient belongs, and I'll show you what I mean. After that, we have long division. All right, so here we go. Question number 1, 6 divided into 162. Leave plenty of space between the numbers. So remember, we're using short division here. That's what they want us to use. So can 6 divide into 1? No. It goes in there 0 times, so I'm going to leave that blank. I'm going to leave this spot up here on the quotient blank. Then I'm going to look at the next two numbers. So this becomes a 16 now. 6 divides into 16 2 times, and you put it over the right-hand digit right here. Okay, now 6 times 12, 6 times 2 is 12. And the difference between 16 and 12 is 4. Now you can do this math on the side like I did in the last video, but here I want to do it in my head and see what happens. All right, so 6 divides into 16 2 times. 2 times 6 is 12. The difference between 16 and 12 is 4, and you put it right over here, top left of the next digit. This becomes a 42 now. 6 divides into 42 7 times, and 7 times 6 is exactly 42, so there's no remainder, or you can say the remainder is 0. Okay, now they want us to answer the question, what is the dividend? And if you recall from the last video, I kind of went over that, right? The dividend is the number inside the box, inside the box. It's what's being divided into. 162. We're dividing into the dividend. The divisor is the number outside of the box. It's what we're dividing by. We're dividing by the divisor. The quotient is the whole number part of the answer right here. It's the whole number part of the answer. So in other words, it's 27. 27. If there was a remainder there, like 5 or even 0, don't put that as part of the quotient. That's remainder. The quotient is this part here. So in our case, it's 27. They don't ask for the remainder, but that would be the remainder. Okay. Another problem using short division. I'm going to rearrange this into box format or long division format, if you want to call it that. Okay. So I'm going to rearrange this. I'm going to put the divisor in the front and put the dividend inside the box with some space between the numbers. Okay, so here we go. Can 5 divide into 1? Nope. Can 5 divide into 14? Yes, 2 times. 2 times 5 is 10. The difference between 14 and 10 is 4. That goes right here. This becomes a 42. 5 divides into 42 8 times. Put it right over the 2 here. 8 times 5 is 40. 42 minus 40 is 2. Put it right here. This becomes a 26. 5 divides into 26 5 times. 5 times 5 is 25. 26 minus 25 is 1. This becomes a 16 now. 5 divides into 16 3 times. 3 times 5 is 15. 16 minus 15 is 1. There's a remainder of 1. Okay, now these next couple of questions are, they want to know if you understand where to place the numbers in the quotient. So let's copy this problem down. We have 27 divided into 864. 864. So we have a 2-digit number in the divisor. That's okay. It's still the same procedure. Can the 27 divide into 8? No. So we could put a leading 0 here. I would not. Just leave it blank. Nothing means 0. We'll leave it blank. 27 does not divide into 8. So then we'll look at both digits together. 86. 86. Can 27 divide into 86? It can. How many times? I'm not sure, but I know whatever the answer is goes here. Probably 3, I'm guessing, but it doesn't matter. I'll show you why it doesn't matter. Whatever the answer is goes here over the right-hand digit. Now let's look at the question and see exactly what they want us to do. Decide whether the first digit in the quotient, where it would be located. Then without finishing the division, decide which of the 3 choices is correct. So we have 3 choices. Choice A is a 3-digit quotient. If our answer was a 3-digit quotient, we would have a number here, and a number here. However, as we just saw, our answer begins here. Well, that means it can't be C because our answer would only be over the 4, the right-hand digit. So just by the process of elimination, it's got to be B. It's got to be some 2-digit number, whatever it is. And in this case, they did the math for us. It's 32. So all they want you to do is to understand where to put the quotient numbers properly over the proper place value. All right, we have one more like this. Question 4. 18 divided into 6,300. Can 18 go into 6? Nope. Can 18 divide into 63? Yep. So our answer begins right here. The answer begins right here. It begins in the 1/1000ths column. So we know it's got to be a 3-digit number. Our quotient has to be some kind of 3-digit number. So again, we're given the choice of a 1-digit, 2-digit, or 3-digit number, and we know it's got to be a 3-digit number because we know the number, the quotient starts over the hundreds column, ones, tenths, hundreds. Whatever the numbers are, they are. That'll want us to complete this problem. But it looks like the answer is going to be 350. All right, so from here on out, we're beginning long division. Here we go. Now for long division, it's a 4-step process. Step number 1, divide. Step 2, multiply. Step 3, subtract. And step 4, bring down the next number. Pound means number. When we get to step 4, we go right back up to the top. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down the next number. That is the sequence of long division. And we just keep repeating that until we get our answer. All right, so let's try one here. 9 divided into 432. Can 9 divide into 4? Nope, so we'll leave this blank. Can 9 divide into 43? Yes, it can. 9 divides into 43 4 times, and you put the number right over the right-hand digit. Okay, put the quotient right over the right-hand digit. 9 times 4 is 36. You put the answer right below here. Okay, right below the 2 digits. And then you're going to subtract. So this is step 3. Okay, step 1 was divide 9 into 43 4 times. Step 2 is multiply. 4 times 9 is 36. Step 3 is subtract. We cannot subtract 3 and 6, so we have to borrow. This becomes a 3. This becomes a 13. 13 minus 6 is 7. So we just subtracted. And the 4th step is to bring down the next number. Take this number and bring it down next to the remainder down here. By the way, the remainder, the temporary remainder, right? It's not the final remainder. The temporary remainder better be less than the divisor. It cannot be the same, and it cannot be more. If it is the same or more, what happened was you did not get close enough to this number here. So you did not get close enough to 43. If we would have chose 3, right, that would have been too low, and we would have gotten a bigger number than 7. So basically with division, short or long division, you're looking to see how many times this divisor can divide into the dividend as close as you can. You want to get as close as you can to the dividend without going over. Okay, so, all right, so step 4, and we said it's to bring down the next number. So bring down the next number. So now this turns into a 72. We finished all 4 steps. What do? We go right back to the top again, right? Step 1, which is divide. So the first time you divide, you divide into the box. After the first time, you divide downwards, down here, okay? So now we have to divide 9 into 72. Well, 9 divides into 72 8 times, and you put the number over the quotient over the number you just brought down. That way things line up, okay? 8 times 9 is 72. That's the multiplication step. 3rd step is to subtract. 4th step is to bring down the next number, but there are no more numbers to bring down. We're done. So this is our remainder. The quotient is 48. Remainder is 0. One, 6, 2, 3, 0. Make sure you leave plenty of space between the numbers. Can 8 divide into 1? Nope. Leave it blank. Can 8 divide into 16? Yes. 2 times. Because 2 times 8 is 16. Put the number right below that other number, right there. Then you subtract. Only subtract these 2 numbers. 16 minus 16 is 0. You can put a 0 here if you like, or leave it blank. I'm going to leave it blank, just avoid extra zeros in the front. We don't need any leading zeros. It's unnecessary. So I'm going to leave it blank. So the second step was to multiply. Third step was to subtract. Now, the fourth step is to bring down the next number, which is 2. So we have to do the first step again. We have to go back to the top, right? Step number 1, which is to divide. And remember, we divide in the box the first time. Afterwards, we divide downwards like this, down here. So we're going to divide 8 into 2. Can 8 divide into 2? No, it cannot, because 2 is too small. So we put a 0 here. This is absolutely necessary. Every digit in the dividend has to have some kind of digit above it in the quotient. Here we said it's 0, so we'll leave it blank because it's the leading 0. But this 0 is within the number. We got to put it there. It's a place value. It's the thousand spot, right? Or the hundred spot, sorry, the hundreds. Ones, tens, hundreds. It's 2,000, 0 hundreds, something, something. All right, so 8 does not divide into 2, so we put a 0 here. So we can bring down the next number now. So this becomes a 23. 8 divides into 23 2 times, and the 2 goes right over the 3 we just brought down. 2 times 8 is 16. All right, then we subtract. 23 minus 16 is 7. If you can do this in your head, do it in your head. If you cannot do it in your head, use the borrowing techniques. Now, the question is, are we done? Is that our answer? No, we're not done. Two reasons why we're not done. There's a blank spot up here. We cannot have any blank spots up here except leading zeros. That's one reason why we're not done. The second reason why we're not done is because we have not brought down all the numbers. So then we bring down the 0 and we divide 8 into 70. 8 divides into 70 8 times. This is step 1 again of that sequence. Step 2, multiply. 8 times 8 is 64. Third step, subtract. 70 minus 64 is 6. Bring down the next number. There are no more numbers to bring down. We're done. When you keep going until you have no more numbers to bring down, you're done. Don't add a decimal place and a 0. No, not in this course. You'll do that in Module 3 of Math 50. All right, let's keep going. 6 divided into 29, 70. Can 6 divide into 2? Nope, leave it blank. Can 6 divide into 29? Yes, it can. And it divides into 29, excuse me, 4 times. 4 times 6 is 24. Subtract. 29 minus 24 is 5. Bring down the next number. Divide downwards. 6 divides into 57 9 times. 9 times 6 is 54. Subtract. Bring down the last digit. 6 divides into 30 exactly 5 times, because 5 times 6 is 30. Subtract. Remainder is 0. Seven divided into 14, 340. 7 divides into 14 exactly 2 times. 2 times 7 is 14. Subtract. Remainder is 0. I'll leave it blank since it's going to be a leading 0. I'm going to bring down the next digit, 3. 7 cannot divide into 3 because 3 is too small for 7. So I got to put a 0 here. Bring down the next digit. So this turns into a 34. 7 divides into 34 4 times. 4 times 7 is 28. Subtract. 34 minus 28 is 6. We're going to bring down the next digit. This turns into a 60. 7 divides into 60 8 times, because 8 times 7 is 56. Subtract. Remainder is 4. Now, do you remember when I told you before how critical multiplication was? Notice right here, division really is pretty much multiplication. Because when I'm dividing, when I'm saying how many times can 7 divide into 60, what I'm really saying in my head is 7 times what is close to 60. Well, 7 times 7 is 49, too low. 7 times 9 is 63, too high. 7 times 8 is 56. That's as close as I can get to 60 without going over. It's all multiplication. So as you can see here, it's pretty critical. The other thing I want to mention is the use of the arrows. I would recommend you use them because when you do use the arrows, it's obvious to see that you've brought the numbers down. That way you didn't forget anything. Sometimes I see that with students' tests or work. They don't put the arrows and then they just forget to bring a number down. So their answer is almost correct. They just didn't fully complete it. All right, so let's put that in there and see what happens. So I'm going a little swift here because I think it helps to see the pattern rather than me just pausing every time and then breaking that flow. I think it helps to see the flow with long division, the 4 steps, the 4-step flow. 6 divided into 41, 28. But you realize that it's really just the 4 steps, right? So I think once you get the hang of long division, it's not too bad as long as you're good with your multiplication facts. It's just the same thing over and over, it just repeats. 6 does not divide into 4, leave it blank. 6 divides into 41 6 times over the right-hand digit. 6 times 6 is 36. Subtract these two numbers. The difference is 5. Bring down the next digit. 6 divides into 52 8 times, because 8 times 6 is 48. The difference is 4. Bring down the last digit. 6 divides into 48. We just did that 8 times, right? 8 times 6 is 48. Remainder is 0. Three divided into 207. 3 does not divide into 2. 3 divides into 20 6 times, because 6 times 3 is 18. Subtract. 20 minus 18 is 2. Bring down the next digit. 3 divides into 27 9 times. 9 times 3 is 27. Subtract. Remainder is 0. Done. No more numbers to bring down. We're done. Okay, a couple of more problems here. Hopefully you see the pattern. And if you need to, go back to the beginning of the video and write down the 4 steps to long division. 6 divided into 184, 70. 6 does not divide into 1. 6 divides into 18 3 times. 3 times 6 is 18. 18 minus 18 is 0. I'll leave it blank. Bring down your next digit. 6 does not divide into 4 because 4 is too small, so we put a 0 here. Bring down the next digit. So this is now a 47. 6 divides into 47 7 times, because 7 times 6 is 42. Subtract. Difference is 5. Bring down the last digit. 50. 6 divides into 50 8 times, because 8 times 6 is 48. And our difference, is 2. All right, so the remainder is 2. Our quotient is 3078, and our remainder is 2. So let's put that in there and see what happens. All right, so last problem. Four divided into 3140. 4 does not divide into 3. 4 divides into 31 7 times, because 7 times 4 is 28. Subtract. The difference is 3. Bring down the next digit. 4 divides into 34 8 times, because 8 times 4 is 32. The difference is 2. Bring down the last digit. 4 divides into 20 5 times, because 5 times 4 is 20. Subtract. And our remainder is 0. All right, so let's put that in there and see what happens. Okay, so that's how you perform long division. If you like my content, click the like button, post your comments, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.